I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo,
yeah.
no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What is going on? Happy Hump Day here. Wednesday, the last day of April the 30th. Hope everybody's doing well. Big things ahead. Going to shoot first strike tonight. Going to get that UFC action out there. Put out the rugby content for you guys. 2 picks out there from Dan and Smythe. We've got UFC already going with VB MMA and Ramon Scott. And we're going. We're kicking. We're grooving. We got ourselves a fun card tonight. Prop heavy. Small slate. I thought it was a smaller slate anyways. And we're prop heavy. Prop heavy trying to get plus money. Taking a big swing, literally, in the Pirates game. And I'm going to show you how we're going to attack that game. That's going to be how we open up the card. We're going to talk Kansas City and Tampa Bay. Double play in that one for me. Got an MLB parlay at plus 1. I think it's plus 130. Then we will put on the ice skates. We will talk about Montreal and Washington, Florida and Tampa Bay. And I might add something on that Winnipeg Jets game. I think I got something in my eye is what I think I got. We've got a couple games. Teams facing elimination there in Montreal and Washington, Florida and Tampa Bay. We will hit the Golden State Warriors Houston game. Got a prop and a total in that game. That's the way we're going to approach it. And then some props, as I mentioned here, throughout this card, loaded up and more prop heavy today than usual. But look, I found it a little sneaky, this card. You know, I want to see, I believe the Lakers don't get swept. Do I want to lay 6 to find out? No. No, I don't. Do I want to get involved with some, I don't know. Timberwolves. I don't like the Timberwolves at home. I've been telling you guys that all season. 24-17 they are on the road. It's a tricky one, but there's the Lakers, 31-10 at home. So I don't know. But I do know that Houston is facing elimination in the Golden State-Houston game. So we will take a swing at that one, see if we can't get that cash. Things are sweating out here. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. I'll say it. Oh, no. Oh, no. As soon as I was going to say it. Oh, no. I did the under in the Seattle and Angels game. Under 8.5, I believe, was the number. Got a bunch of runs early. We're sitting here tied at 3s. I need the Padres to pull off this -1 against San Francisco. And that's the remainder of the afternoon action. Man, Houston got busted up today. Detroit and Houston had the Houston in the under 9. They got busted up right away. Actually, they scored right away. Scored in the first inning. And then, of course, the road team, that's the dog, comes back, figures it out, wins that game 7-4. St. Louis shuts out Cincinnati, game 1 of the doubleheader today. And the Dodgers put the belt to the ass of the Miami Marlins. Hot bats in L.A. Crazy. Hot bats in New York last night, or I guess with the Yankees last night out there. Fire. Are these torpedo bats much ado about nothing, or is there something to them? I don't know. Kind of looks like it's about average. It's kind of level, and it's tabling off across the metrics here. But, hey, you know, Michael Conforto, I hope he's listening. Where you at, bro? 3 games in a row. Nowhere to be found. Disappointing. I'll tell you this. I know the games that are about to pop off, the Cleveland Guardians have themselves in a unique little position here today. For anybody that is interested in that action, I find that team incredibly difficult to bet on. I'll tell you this. The Twins are 0-15 on the run line. 1-14 overall. Coming off a loss that snapped a 4-6 game winning streak. So in other words, Minnesota piles together a bunch of wins. And then they piled together a bunch of losses. That's probably fair to say, right? That's not surprising to anybody, is it? I'm not surprised by that. Makes sense to me. So there you go. For what it's worth, Luis Ortiz will start out there against Pablo Lopez in that Minnesota Twins game. And what do we got going on? Hopefully you guys had fun with us last night. We had a little live impromptu stream there. Sharpie. We had our guys out there, of course. Ramon Scott comes on and spends some time with us. It was fun. Fun talking ball, watching some playoffs, getting score updates, talking the NHL, all that fun stuff that goes into it. Not so much fun for me, though. Gave a unit back yesterday. I don't want to say it was bound to happen, but I needed that over in that 9.5 game with the Reds. That one screwed me. I had really heavy. I was really loaded up. Now, Ottawa beats Toronto 4-0. Clearly, that team total under didn't cash. Take note, though. Unders. I did talk about that live on the stream last night. I like both unders, and I liked Edmonton. I think the Kings let the sleeping bear wake up. The over 8.5 cash. Jover and I were intersecting there with the over in the Mets in Arizona. Got that cash for us. The Detroit Pistons. Wrong team favored. Plus 5.5 cash as they win the game outright. 106-103. The Devils. The damn New Jersey Devils, man. They go up 3-0. I'm feeling good. I'm thinking, I gave out a plus 230. That second period started, and within the 5 minutes of the second period, it's tied. 3-3. Unbelievable game. Then the Devils score again. It's 4-3. Then Carolina scores, ties it up. And then Carolina wins the game, and I think it was double overtime, if I'm not mistaken. Which hurt. That would have been a good one. That would have been a good hit. But we did add the Milwaukee Brewers minus 2.5. They beat them boys up. They beat them up real good. We got that at plus 105. That was a late add. The under 199.5 just misses in that Boston. Oh, it was a little more than just a miss. And then the Clippers, the Clippers got busted up. They got busted up by 16 points to Denver. Late trends, too. San Francisco Giants blew it, too. So, hey, we're fighting the good fight. The last day of April still been one of the most profitable months in sports money existence. So, let's keep it going. Let's see if we can do that again tonight. I'm telling you, I got a couple games I'm playing a couple of ways. That's the way I want to get paid here when it comes to this card itself. Before we even get to work, though, comments after show are super huge for us. But when we're in the middle of the show, nothing's more important than smacking that thumbs up button. So let's take the time to do that. If you haven't done it yet, close the comments, smack the thumbs up button. We'll keep this show on the road. We got games to get to. Let's go. Help us out. Smash the thumbs up. It's a catchy little number, huh? I don't know. It was the impromptu put together there that made it all come together. So let's see. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got going on. Let's take a quick peek here. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me take a shout out to Ron Young. He missed the show yesterday, but he did come in and comment. We appreciate that from Ron Young. Brent Matthews commented yesterday. Abel A gave some Mookie Betts action yesterday. And Jover, 4. Thank you for taking the time to make those comments. That's all we ask you to do. Post-show. Maybe that's why we had a tough day yesterday. Maybe that's what led to a tough day. Lack of comments. Most important thing we can have to help promote the show. We are viewer supported, so we do appreciate all you guys that come into the show on a regular basis, that do smash the thumbs up button, that do leave comments out there. I thought we were going to be on a run. We had like 15 the day before. I was a little bummed to see 4 yesterday. I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to wear my emotions on my sleeve here and let you guys know it hurt my feelings. SF Niners in the house. Those Giants are killing me. We could appreciate a gifted membership. Get our guy colored up to green. Let's go, you guys. Get that pen and paper ready. We're going to fire through this. We're going to talk about what the chat's on. We're going to give some of these plays out there because they start soon. We do not want to wait. Shout out to Jover. His war on unders continues today. He's going to the hometown Brew Crew White Sox, and he's going over 7.5 for our guy, Jover. Shout out to Gerald Jones, 38 and 32 for his best bets. Love him tracking it. It's the most important thing you can do. The only currency you have here is your record. And how are you going to know when you have to tweak it? When you have to tweak a look, when you have to figure something out, what's not working? Well, if you're not tracking, you have no way of telling. And our guy, Gerald Jones, is tracking, and he's running 38 and 32. He's got the Cubs on the run line. He's laying the wood with the Chicago Cubs. I'm excited to talk about that game. I am. It's crazy. I can't believe I'm saying that. Cubs are one of my most favorite lineups. Oh, no. Stop scoring. Stop scoring, Seattle. Stop it. You know what's weird? That when after they scored a bunch of runs early, it was like 12.5 on the total. It dropped to 11.5, dropped to 10.5. Set at 9. There's 9. Ah! I fucking flip-flopped on that one. Mad at myself. Anyways, it sat at 9.5, despite all that scoring for like 2 straight innings. No movement at 9.5. I thought I should have got back in there. Yeah. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I did not. Shout out to Gerald Jones sharing his Cubs run line. There's Blake M. Kenny Wood. He's ready to go. I'm having a good start to the day, so let's keep it going, says Ken Wood. Ignatius Pennyfeather, the 7th, is here rocking with us. Peter Gracia says, big action tonight. Shout out to Old E. Says, smash it like you dogs. Fernando Mendoza. What's up, Fernando? 9 legacies here. What's the parlay of the day? I got a 2-legger. My feelings are currently hurt with the Seattle loss. Damn it. Why did I? Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We have to move on. Nicholas Handy's here, though. He ain't moving on. Shit, he's ready to rock. Let's go. Fernando says, pimping ain't easy. Peter says, Yankees in Boston will mash average pitching. Great note. I noticed that too. AOD's ready to roll. Kevin Wood's got the Cubs first 5 -1/2. Got that way earlier this morning. Peter Gracia says, great call on the Pistons. That was a good call. We don't get them all. We don't proclaim to get them all. We get a lot of them, don't we? I mean, look at 40 plus units this month. 1 unit plays, no chases, no fuckery, transparency. You can see it over at BetStamp how it goes down. Ignatius says, I wonder, the NJ bet because Bet365 pays out if your team goes up by 3. Wow. Oh, you won the New Jersey bet. Nice, dude. I was almost a full, well, it wasn't quite a full cash out. It was like 90%. And I was looking at it and I was like, man, but they were up 3-0. I thought there's no way. There's no way they lose this game. Fernando's leading the under 7.5 in the Brewers game, but he says he hasn't bet it yet. Blake M likes the Rays -1.5. Peter Grassi says, I'm going to try and comment after every show. I appreciate that, man. Get your bets in. Hey, if one of them loses and you tailed me, let me know. I hate it. Don't call me don't curse. That won't help us. But you can let me know if it was a bad call. I know it's a bad call. If it's, look, I'm betting him. I already know. But if you want to let me know, that's cool. Make that comment. Irish Kings got Tampa Bay first 5 minus, or questioning first 5 -1/2. I'll tell you about that game. I'll tell you how I'm getting down. SF Niner took the Warriors +4. Late line movement just came in on that game as well. Phil the Kill says, I waited on the Brew Crew yesterday. It was so public. Snagged a beautiful line when they were down 0-2 early. Redbeard, bullpen day for his Mets. Justin McCalvey says, sports money is money. Irish King likes his Mets as well. Fernando says he had the under in that game as well. Yep. Yeah. Well. So what's fun about unders? Once it's over, you're done. I don't need to watch the rest of that. Typically, if I'm taking an under, it's probably a scrub game anyways. You know what I mean? You guys picking up what I'm putting down? Let's go. Let's talk about this first game. You're going to have to hear me out in the way that I'm attacking the Cubs and the Pirates. We'll look at this thing first. We got some hockey action, of course. We got plenty of time. It's not the biggest of cards here today for me. So we've got plenty of time to get to all the action. We shouldn't have to rush to get it in there. I already talked to you about that Cleveland spot. That game is popping off. No rush to get in there for me. I already got in there earlier, so I'm not going to give that out as an official. But I guess I did. So you guys got that one. Go get it. Fire it in there. This line opened up at minus 174, a big price tag to pay for the Cubs, and it's oscillated. It's come down 4 cents, but it's also gone up 4 cents on the Pirate side of things here. 93% of the bets and 97% of the cash are on these Cubs. They're with you guys. They like the Cubbies. This line started at 9. 98% of the bets and 97% of the cash have hit this over. Mlodzinski is probably the reason with the 6.96 ERA. Matthew Boyd, man, you know what pisses me off about that Houston game? Can I just vent for a second about that Houston game? Looking at the pitching matchup, it was always Detroit. It was Detroit in the first 5. It was Detroit the full game. I don't know how I parlayed Houston in the under. And that's what makes me think of this when I see Mlodzinski. He does have Matthew Boyd on the other side of things. Look, I like this Cubs team. I'm not a big Cubs fan, but I like them this year. And it's mostly because, I'm a batting guy. I want to see the props. I want to see these guys swing. I want to see them fire that ball yardstick. I want to see all that stuff out there. Crow Armstrong. We talked about him last night a little bit out there. Fun guy to kind of take a look at. And of course, you guys know I'm a sucker for Kyle Tucker. The way this thing's gone down in this series particularly, I'm laughing because I know the plays. And so it's making me laugh to think that I'm about to say it out loud. Oh, come on. Eat shit, San Francisco. Don't do that to me too. All right, so the Pirates are in struggle mode. The Pirates are very much like the Twins. They're 1-4 in their last 5. When they lose a lot. Then they pick up wins. Going to be a tough year for Skeens. He'll probably play well. He'll do his 8-9 Ks a game. But they're not going to catch a lot of wins. And hopefully the Pirates don't ruin this guy. They did just get shut out yesterday. Shutout alert. You know my philosophy on shutout alert. I don't want to put that in the ether for you guys that are looking at your Cubs. They're a bad team, though, this Pirates. Cubs, though, listen, they came off a tough series against the Phillies. They came back out there yesterday. They picked up that much-needed win. They also had, the day off because of the travel. So, look, Cubs can hit the ball. There's no question. And they're going to be streaky when they're, the benefit of these big batters playing at Coors is going to be really something fun to check out. This lineup's loaded. And look, I like Matthew Boyd coming into this squad from, where was he, Detroit last year? Not a bad look. The problem that the Pirates have with Mlodzinski is he's at a 1.8 whip. Almost a 2. That means every inning this scrub plays, 2 dudes are getting on base. At least. And I could certainly see that leads to scoring. Now, I thought heavily about the under. I thought very heavily about playing the under in this game. I thought it's a 9 and it's ticking down to 8.5. Feels like an under. 6:40 p.m. start. I'll tell you what I did. 2 plays. First, I parlayed Kyle Tucker and O'Neal Cruz to get a hit. It's even money. Probably saying, the hell are you parlaying those 2 together for? For a particular strategic reason. First of all, those dudes are on hitting streaks. They're tearing it up right now. Kyle Tucker clearly can go out there and fire. The question is, can O'Neal Cruz? And I believe the answer is yes. O'Neal Cruz on Wednesdays has 2 or more hits in the 3 games that he's played on Wednesdays. So I laid some, we'll call that covering fire. Parlayed Kyle Tucker and O'Neal Cruz each to get 1 hit, 1+ hit, even money. Because I came in and I fired a bullet on O'Neal Cruz to hit a home run and O'Neal Cruz to get an RBI. The O'Neal Cruz to get an RBI was like plus 230. And actually, let me double check. I'll tell you exactly what it was. I don't want to say like. Let me tell you exactly what I laid out there. 215. 215 for O'Neal Cruz to get an RBI. He's got 2+ hits in 3 games. He's got 5 or more bases in 3 of the 3 games on Wednesdays. And then the last play that I dropped out there, I used the home run sweat-free bet. O'Neal Cruz to hit a home run. He's got 1 or more home run in 3 of his last 3 Wednesday games. You guys know I love those guys. Listen, I don't know what the day of the week has to do with anything other than it's getaway day. He's probably facing a shit pitcher. Now, Matthew Boyd is anything but a shit pitcher. But if you look, my eyeball. If you look at my eyeball, there's something going on there. It's like sandpaper in that thing. It's been driving me. It has been driving me here. But as I mentioned, as you look down the lineup card and you look at what's going on with these two guys here, Matthew Boyd, O'Neal Cruz, only seen him twice. It is the lefty on lefty matchup. O'Neal Cruz hits a 224 against lefties. Matthew Boyd does shut down lefties at a 143. So I expected here's the theory. Here's the strategy, right? I got the sweat free bet for the home run. I'm taking a shot with the RBI at plus 215. And I'm using the 1+ hit for Kyle Tucker and O'Neal Cruz to ensure the bet. That kind of makes sense. You guys with me with that? So I know there's 3 plays on this thing, but it is strategic. There is a reason behind the approach. And I think it's a really good call. Now, it's the O'Neal Cruz on Wednesday factor. We'll see if that streak continues. I'm going to bank on it here, though. O'Neal Cruz has been firing. I don't see why he can't get it done. Shout out to Patrick, SB, Groovy, Alien, Joseph Alvarado's here. Sports Money for life, baby. Let's go. Sports Money Nation. Shout out to Sancho, says 4-piece in the NHL. Lee hit, sorry, no woo. LOL. And Jay Main likes Cruz. There you go. There we go. We can get a little Cruz alignment here. SF Niner got a 3-team parlay. Says Judge home run, Woo hit, Freeman. Oh, Lee hit, he said. Okay, I was reading it back. I'm reading it bottom up. My fault. I get you. Okay. I like it. So there you go. That's the way I'm getting down with Pittsburgh. I'm not going to add the under. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Here we are. Give me the under 9 too. I got the under 9 at minus 118 right now on DraftKings. It's literally staring at me. I just talked about how it should be an under spot. Can Ledzinski come back? He is at home. Matthew Boyd does have the ability to silence a lot of these bats as well. Okay. All right. I'll add the under 9. That's 4 bets on this game. Can you believe that? 640, Pirates, Cubs, 4 bets. What could go wrong? Fernando. See, the problem I have with that, Fernando, it's not a bad call, actually, with the 3.5. But I need O'Neal Cruz to fire around the bases there. So if he scores runs for me, listen, I'll take it on the chin if I have to. But I prefer the Cubs to get shut down and the Pirates to find this win. But I see you guys are heavily invested in the Cubs. And I can't take a team total under when I got a guy to hit a home run. Or so on and so forth. Shout out to Trisha M. She gave us a $4.99 donut. Says best community. No scams. Love our guy Moolah. Appreciate you, Trisha M. Try to be transparent. I wouldn't scam you guys. Doesn't do me any good. That's the old school Twitter. That's the way the old school YouTubers are doing things out there. Look at this over here. Look at over here. So you don't see what I'm doing over here. Can't see what's going on with my left hand if you look at my right hand. That's not the way we do things here. 100% on the level with you guys. I'm just telling you how I'm playing my bets. I think this is going to be a fun game. I can't believe I'm going to watch this Cubs-Pirates game. It starts in 10 minutes. Can you believe that? Shout out to you, Trisha M. Cheers. Cheers with my Diet Coke. All right, I double dipped this game. So on the surface, it looks like a small card, but when you start unpacking it, there's quite a bit of moving parts to this thing here. I can't believe I'm playing O'Neal Cruz. First of all, for the record, I haven't played O'Neal Cruz all year. So let's see what Matthew Boyd can go out there and do to this Beller. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? Who says I can't do this? How about this parlay? The Phillies. Chris Sanchez. Sanchez. I wouldn't do that to him. Mark Sanchez with the New York Jets. And then, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. Chris Sanchez. Jake Irving for the Nationals out there. Big price tags. So I had to parlay this together. Why? Because I could see it being a one-run game, and I didn't want to put my -1 out there. The -1's still a shit price tag at like -185. -188, I think is what it was. And the money line's -250. Why am I looking? And I tried to look at the first 5 full game. First 5 minus a half is -145-ish. And then if you parlay the full game with it, it drops it down to like -130. So there just wasn't a really clear and present way to get this Phillies in what I expect to be a tighter game. Now, I'll say this. I looked heavily at the Phillies team total over. Very heavily. Why? For a couple of reasons. The predominant reason, they're 9-0 to the over their last 9 home games. They're cooking. That's the games. That's not just their team total. That's the games in general. 9-0 to the over. Smashing and mashing potatoes. I wanted to focus in on Sanchez. NL opponents going back to all last year, a full year against NL opponents. This guy has been money. He's 15-0, Sanchez, against NL opponents. So you got, and the thing about that's remarkable is they play the NL a lot. So this dude's, they've seen him before. He's seen them before. It's more important that he's seen them before, and he's showing that he can just nuke them. He can shut them down. So the first leg of the parlay falls into the Brewers. Oh, I'm sorry. The first leg of the parlay falls into the Phillies. And look, the second leg, surprise, surprise, Tobias Myers and Shane Smith here, the Brewers over the White Sox for me. This is a -170 price tag. The -1.5 is +105. We had to go 2.5 yesterday to get the +105. So they are expecting the White Sox to be able to get to Tobias Myers, or they're expecting the Brewers not to be able to get on Shane Smith. And, you know, when I was looking through this lineup particularly, and I started looking down the familiarity, if you will, batter versus pitcher. I mean, look, Tobias Myers, he does have a 4.5 ERA sporting out there in this White Sox situation. Now, a lot of old school White Sox, a lot of guys haven't seen him. So Lou Bob's never seen him. Andrew Vaughn's never seen him. That's important because those are 2 key guys for the White Sox. Benintendi's seen him twice. He only hit him once. And the other guy's Joshua Palacios. 3 at-bats, 1 hit. I don't think I could have said that right. It came out really fast. On the other side of things, nobody on this Brewer side has seen Shane Smith. So I just thought the prudent thing to do in this case was to fade the White Sox, go back to the Brewers. Their bats are firing. They had a good game yesterday. They looked pretty solid. Obviously came back from that 2-0 deficit, and they beat the shit out of them after that. 7 straight runs without any kind of response whatsoever from the White Sox. So +130. Fits all together nicely. The line has come down a little bit for what it's worth. The Brewers opened at -186. They're now -160. 90% of the bets, 91% of the cash. We just need both these teams to win. Just win. Just do what Atlanta couldn't do against Colorado today. Can you believe that? Lose 2-1. Everybody was talking over. Yesterday was over. Today was over. Well, they get like 8 runs in 2 games at Coors? That's why you can't lay, like I was talking about this yesterday with the Albies, was a +105, I think, for an RBI or something like that. It's got to be +135 or better. Or the math doesn't work. a guy to be even money for an RBI. And he, I think he did get one. So kind of, he didn't get one today. So if you played him yesterday and today at even money both times, you're even. You tied. You kissed your sister. You said that was a creepy saying. I don't have a sister, so it's less creepy for me, but I don't think you should be doing that. Doesn't sound right. Oh, shit. Did I mess that up? Thank you for pointing that out. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to avoid that. Thank you for pointing that out. Tell you what I'm going to do. No one says I can't. Or on the fly. Take that same two-legger at plus 130. Add the Texas Rangers to it. How about that? The Texas Rangers in big favorite mode are 12 straight wins as big favorites. 12 in a row. Well, not big favorites. Moderate favorites, I should say. Moderate favorites. I'm going to place this bet real quick. Hang on. Plus 274. There you go. There we go. Same thing, and how we'll add Texas Rangers to it. Thank you for pointing that out. I would have been pissed. I'd have been pissed when that Brewers one cashes, and I don't know how I screwed that up. Anyways, Texas Rangers did put this back down. They beat the brakes off them boys yesterday in Oakland. What was that final? Like 15-2? Luis Severino, Nathan Eovaldi on the bump for the Texas Rangers. And again, I mentioned it, 12 straight wins now when them boys are in the favorite spot out there. Sure. I'll put it in the chat. Texas Rangers. Philadelphia Phillies. And the Milwaukee Brew Crew. There you go. Yep. I'd have been pissed if I missed that. Fernando says, Mikey pulling a trap. Did I pull a trap? I don't know what that means. Phil the Kill says, is the grandma wearing your sister's panties guy calling something creepy? You guys remember that one? That was a fun one. Okay. Let's go. Kansas City, Tampa Bay is the last game I got for you guys in the Major League Baseball outline today. So, we did touch on quite a few games, despite it not being, again, the largest of slates here, I guess. These afternoon games do kind of throw a little stymie on the game plan there. But by the way, last thing I'll mention on that Pirates game or Texas game, 89% of the bets, 82% of the cash on the Rangers. It did move from minus 144 to minus 155. The 8s have gone to 8.5. 94% of the bets, 92% of the cash are on the over. I'm honing in Kansas City Royals, Tampa Bay Rays. Line move amente here. This line opened at minus 188. It has dropped significantly for the home team, Tampa Bay Rays, down to minus 162. 81% of the bets, 88% of the cash on the Tampa Bay Rays. It's come down 26 cents. Looks like somebody's popping in on Kansas City. Are these Tampa Bay Ray bats ice cold? This line's come down from 9 to 7.5 with 87% of the bets and 82% of the cash. Rasmussen, Cameron facing off out there in Steinbrenner Field. We talked about this the other day. We're very close to the Tampa Bay Rays having played 50% of their home games at this point of the season. Super early. Cameron, he's an opener. Rasmussen 1-1 with a 2.1 ERA. And look, for me, I thought this one was double dippable. Look at Tampa Bay's performances here. That Arizona series in Arizona, in the desert, by the way. Hot. We know the ball travels. It's like a humidor in that place. They go to Padres, 1-0, 4-1, 4-2. Then they lose 3-1 to Kansas City Royals. Tampa Bay's finding it difficult to get to their team total number. Even in that Yankee. So aside from the Arizona series, they lost 4-0 to the Yankees. They lost 1-0 to the Yankees. They lost 6-3 to the Yankees. They lost 1-0 to the Red Sox. They did score 4 runs in a 7-4 loss. What I'm getting at here is shout to Ramon Scott. What I'm getting here is I think Tampa Bay's bats can be ice cold. They're just not consistent. Now, this one kind of stares in the face of adversity because this ballpark is a batter-friendly ballpark, will you say? On the other side of things, look at Kansas City. 3-1. They lost 7-3. The important part is they only scored 3 runs in that mashup. 2-0. 2-0. Back-to-back shutout wins against the Astros. Bottom line, we're just not seeing the bats come to life yet for either of these squads. So it is a little dangerous thinking about unders in a hitter-friendly environment. But I thought it was worthy of the double dip. I took the first 5. I got the first 5 under 4.5. I've got the full game under 8. And look, the key guys, Pat Quintino's 4 at-bats against Rasmussen with no hits. Bobby Witt's seen him 6 times, only has 1 hit. Even Hunter Renfroe, 7 at-bats, 1 hit. Rasmussen's holding him down. And it doesn't surprise me with that 2 ERA. The flip side of things, Noah Cameron. Who? Exactly. No one's seen this guy on the Tampa Bay Rays side of things. So now you got kind of the ice cold bats and the lack of familiarity against this pitcher, even if he is just the opener. It doesn't bode well, I think, for Tampa Bay today. It's a weird number, though. I mean, I almost thought, look, the Kansas City Royals, you pick them up at a plus 140. Kind of feels like a Royal spot, but to me, I'd rather just expect no runs in this thing here. The first 5 under 4.5, the full game under 8, the double dip special. That's going to bring us to a close in Major League Baseball. Lots of baseball action today. You look at the card, you're like, oh, there's only 2 games on there. Hell no. We've opened this thing up. I like it. I feel good about that baseball action. I do like Tampa. I do like Kansas City. It's hard pressed for me not to want to go Kansas City in an under 9 parlay. Let me take a look. Now that I mention it, I'd be pissed if it happens that I don't play it, right? Plus 238. I'll tell you the best thing for me is that this show has been popping off for over a year at 6 p.m. because I would just keep stacking up plays, stacking them up. And that probably wouldn't be good over the long term, you know. Try to select the spots that we want to fire on, not fire on every spot 16 different ways. That was old school Mikey money, not the reformed gambler here. Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals are going to pop off here and a series situation. The Capitals should put Baba to bed. Give them their binky, give them a Baba, and put these Canadians to bed. They just don't have it. They're embarrassing themselves. 1 win. Doobies. He's been smoking doobies out there. Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson did suffer through an injury in Game 4. Then he came back and he fired. No signs of injury. Only 18 shots from that Montreal Canadiens team. They're finding this Capitals team is big. Tom Wilson murdered a dude out there. Literally, on the ice. One of the biggest, most devastating hits. Tell me there's a harder sport than hockey. I mean, just the physical, sheer nature of, you got ice skates on, so you're moving at a faster clip than just running. And you got a dude that comes out of nowhere and literally reverses your momentum like a fucking car hitting a brick wall. Smash that dude. Canadians are done. Now, the question to me is, how do you get around this thing? Because you do have a price tag. The surprise factor, I guess, in this one here is my assumption or my thought process around a lower scoring game. You know, overall, down, backs against the wall, though. What scares me about an under for this game, what happens if you're down 3-1 in the third period? Goalie comes out, and it's a score fest. There's no reason to keep the goalie in if your season's over after tonight, and you're down 3-1, goalie comes out. He don't go back in at 4-1. You still need goals. Nothing's changed. Now it's 5-1, and you just fucked up an under. Although I think it's sitting around 6.5 at this point. Where I want to attack this one, though, this is a strange situation. Speaking of the totals, the first period over, 7-1 in the last 8 Canadiens games when they have a day of rest and a total over a 5.5. However, the full game's gone under 5 straight times in that same spot. So that just tells me that there's like a lack of experience going on with this Montreal team. Like, they can start the game strong, but they can't match up to the better teams that are out there. And that very much is this Washington Capitals team. The story of the year with Ovechkin and his goal scoring prowess. The first period's over 12-1 in the last 13 Capitals games when they're minus 170 or larger and a total greater than 5.5. I think a real sneaky look in this game is both teams to score in the first period. That's a plus 165 opportunity. However, the first period's gone over doesn't mean that the Canadiens are the ones pushing it over. Capitals, I think their first period to score a goal was like minus 250. Books are expecting it. I'm expecting this game to stay under, despite that first period narrative. But ultimately, I went to the Canadiens team total under. Minus 110, under 2.5. Similar situation as what we saw with Ottawa, although Ottawa fired last night. That's because Toronto stinks at closing out series. Keep an eye on this, though. Third period over in Capitals games. 11-2 in the last 13. Third period over. That's what scares me about the full game under. They're up, the goalie comes out, and it's a fucking scoring fest. That's why I want to just take the Canadiens. Just isolate the Canadiens to their team total under. You're not going to get it past Logan Thompson twice. If you do, it'll be impressive. You're certainly not doing it 3 times in a row. Game number 1. Game number 2, I'm going to talk to you guys here, and my play is on in this Tampa Bay Florida Panthers series. Admittedly, they're in trouble. Lightning are down 3-1. Not many folks giving them a chance. Let's not forget that they do have the rest advantage in Vasilevsky, although now they're all kind of catching back up to each other. And ultimately, for me, backs against the wall, deep teams. What's the one factor that's maybe a little bit of addition here? Brandon Hagel will be out for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Aaron Ekblad will be out for the Florida Panthers. He's got a 2-game suspension. Yeah, the Florida Panthers have been the better team so far this series, but that dude's accounted for a lot of point productions, goal scoring, points across the board, a playmaker, and a goal scorer. That's a big subtraction for this Florida Panthers lineup. And I don't think too many people are accounting for that. I haven't even really heard any of the NHL pundits on TV talking about it. And yet this line's come down, minus 125 down to minus 106. The Panthers open up as smallest of road favorites at plus 105. Look, I'll die on this Tampa Bay hill if I have to. Minus 106 for me in the Lightning. You're taking out a key piece of that lineup and the production for the Florida. Now, will they figure it out? Sure. Can they figure it out? Sure. You still got guys like Kucherov. Let's not forget that. Plenty of talent on this Tampa Bay team. They got to get their shit together. There's no question about it here, but I think we get a nice little price tag for a team that has their back. Now, the difference in this team, tell me, Tampa Bay versus Montreal. Both teams' backs against the wall. No belief that we see Montreal figured out. But I do have a little bit of optimism here from this Tampa Bay Lightning side of things. And that's the way I'm going to play it. I'm going to hit on them boys. The Florida Panthers. I'm sorry, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Hopefully that wasn't a Freudian slip. I do have one play I'm going to give you guys. One prop. I told you I have a prop-laden card in this thing here today. And we're going to attack it. Blues in the Jets game. The surprise for me is watching what these Jets have not been able to do, or maybe what we've seen St. Louis do. The series tied 2-2. Holy shit. St. Louis Blues at home, man. Strong team. Are they the best postseason team at home right now? LA Kings got their bottoms blistered up by them Edmonton Oilers yesterday. In and under. It was all over that under. Yeah, you know the situation. Goaltending, we got it. Jordan Binnington, Connor Hellebuck, beasts. Binnington had a great start. Sharp, respected action came in on the Winnipeg Jets. This may make it to the premium card later tonight. The Jets -1 probably gets there. It's a low vig spot too. The margin of victory in this, I got this St. Louis Blues team in a 17-50 spot, and they're losing by 1.5 goals. 27-40 on the puck line, they're losing by 0.5 goal. That's why I want the -1 and not the regulation or the -1.5s. Just because the margin of victory doesn't support enough depth, or if it was 2.5, I'd say sure, fire away. But that puck line proves problematic here, and the -1 essentially accomplishes a push if we do go to that overtime situation. That's not the play I'm giving you guys here, though. I'm rolling. Who am I rolling with? Cam Fowler. Cam Fowler, 1 or more points at +110. Connor Hellebuck has not had his finest postseason. President's Cup team. Just for the trend to continue, I want to see the Jets take an L in this one. But I do like that. I'd rather fancy that -1. Cam Fowler, though. This guy's tied for 5th overall in playoff scoring across the NHL. He'll shoot. He'll pass. He is the soul of this St. Louis Blues team. So if they are going to figure it out, it's going to have to be that guy. And he's given us a plus money price tag. Cam Fowler, 1 or more points, +110. Doesn't matter if he gets a goal or an assist. Cam Fowler, player prop spot of the NHL card for me. Thought that was a good one. Kelly V's in the house. She likes Washington in regulation. Shout out to Grandma. Grandma horse racing. Appreciate you, Grandma. Got some sun on the dome. Got some sun on the dome. It's out in the yard. Cards 3-0. 3-0, huh? I hate doubleheaders. They're such a fucking trap, too. Like, yeah, and this doubleheader was even worse. They totally screwed a 0 spot there. I think it was a 12-0 trend for Singer. And they went right back to him again. Mikolas as well. 6-0. I mean, I hate doubleheaders. If I could stay away from them, I will. Sometimes if I see it's a doubleheader, that is the first thing I look at is my process. Does something jump out that I like, and does something jump out that I don't want to be involved with? Ergo, the poop list on the side. And the first thing I do if I see doubleheaders is I put fucking strikes right there. Save your time. Don't look at them. Don't waste it. I don't want to be involved in it. It's not my forte. I just don't like the setup. And everyone says, oh, they split them 1-1. Yeah, okay. Let's see how that goes for the Reds today. Let's see. Let's put that thought process, that theory to the test here. Shout out to Sharon Polian in the house. And Trisha M says, what a community. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for positivity. Getting the positive vibes out of you guys today. I'm feeling it, man. Let's go. Silent Rob says, PFL stream tomorrow, Mikey. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? I was saying yesterday was Thursday. Now I'm Tuesday. I don't see why not. We'll talk to our boy and see if we can do it. Phil the Kill says, doubleheaders are so damn frustrating. Agreed. Yeah. And then I don't like the team the next game either. And then the things that should happen don't happen, right? Like, who was the series? It was Kansas City against Houston. Now, they shut them out twice with those 2-0s just a week ago, right? But Kansas City plays the doubleheader, 2 games in the same day, then has to travel, goes on the road, and still wins the fucking game. That shouldn't happen. Shouldn't be the case. But it does. And I just, Phil the Kill says you'd think a team could prevent getting beat twice. Yeah. Thanks, Peter. Says it's a great show to look forward to after. Man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys. Making me feel all warm and fuzzy inside here. Let's go. Let's talk about this NBA. Speaking of warm and fuzzy, the Houston Rockets are trying to get that warm and fuzzy go here. 3-1 is Golden State in this series. The only game that they won was on home court in this Houston Rockets. I'll double dip. Actually, I got 3 plays in this game. This line opened up at again, small card. Lots of action. This card opened up at minus 135 for the Rockets, despite 47% of the bets and 60% of cash coming in. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. I was just reading baseball and hockey. And now we flip over to point spread line. Minus 2.5 has moved to minus 4. This late movement is what triggered for me. This dropped from 4 to 3.5. So there was some buying right before pre-gaming started. It's moved back to 4s again. So that flip-flop, that ping-ponging of action, the sharps really like 3.5. But they went to 4 with Golden State is kind of what my feeling is. 67% of the bets and 60% of the cash have come in on the Golden State Warriors. This total with 82% of the bets and 88% of the cash on the over has come down 1 point. And look, we know the deal. The Houston Rockets at home. That's a thing. First half, minus 2.5 for the Houston Rockets at home. Their backs are absolutely against the wall. That little flutter from the 3.5, I was looking at the full game and I thought, wouldn't it be Golden State like just to find a way? I mean, look, they didn't cover the other day with the 3.5, right? They won by, was it 3? Was it the hook? Can't remember exactly. But here's what I looked at. Give me that first half spot. We know what the Houston Rockets do at home and their backs are against the wall. I don't want to see the full game in this case. Because I just don't know. Does Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Jimmy Buckets go to a second level when they're down by 3 or 4 points at halftime and then just come out and just absolutely curb stomp this Houston Rockets team in the second half? I want to get in and out of this fucking thing as quickly as possible when it comes to that side of it. Not the first quarter. I was this close to the Lakers' first quarter. But you know my situation with first quarter. I'm just wasting money is what's happening. So I don't want to get involved in that first quarter business. But I'll take the first half with the Rockets. I'll start there. Then I was looking at this total. It's come down. We've got reverse line movement. Big time. Public loves the over. And we're seeing low totals. Bottom line, for me, look at this run of Rockets games. Now, the Rockets, we talked about this. They've been getting dominated by the Golden State Warriors, but 11-0 to the under. If they allowed less than 35 points in the paint the previous game, didn't get busted up by more than 15 points. Under. Rockets. Strong in the paint. That supports the fact that these boys do have to play that defense to shut down this Golden State squad. You can't afford to allow that liability. And speaking of liability, the third play for me in this game, Jalen Green, over 15.5 points was even money. Jalen Green, 15.5 points, even money. He's a killer. You know, just looking at his numbers across the board. I mean, he had 28 points the other day? 15.5 on a guy that's capable. And if they're going to win this game, it's going to be with Jalen Green. Not going to be able to get it done without this guy. No question about it. Just at his numbers, just a numbers play for me. I mean, I saw it as high as like 17.5, so it did come down a little bit. Freddie VanVleet, you know, I was talking about FVV the other day and his assist capability. He did get that, by the way. I didn't give that out. That's what made me a little bit more confident about getting involved in this thing here. But, man, 21 points a game. Led the Rockets in scoring throughout the season. You're going to put 15.5 on this dude in a do or die situation? You think he's going to have a minutes restriction if they're down in the second half? Hell no. Didn't have the greatest numbers against the Warriors from a matchup perspective in the regular season, but he did lead the squad. He was the guy. He's the guy in the postseason. If they're going to win and stay in, it's going to be because of Jalen Green, even if it's not. I think there's 3 different creative ways to play this game with that. Rockets first half, minus 2.5. The Jalen Green over 15.5 points. and then the full game to go under. Golden State's got to get shut down. It's got to be defensive oriented. They're on their home court. That's where they're going to do it. It's going to happen. And you got Freddie VanVleet still out there. We know when FVV's in, these games like to go under for these Rockets. I think it's a good spot. I think it makes a lot of sense. Load it up. Kelly D says, day after doubleheader equals value. Then they wouldn't be. Yeah, the Yankees had a big spot out there as well. Phillies just took a 3-0 lead. J-Man likes the Lakers over 42.5 free throws. Kelly V says, can make money. I just don't like them. I prefer not to waste my energy, you know? By the way, I was today's years old when I learned about green noise. Schwarber. Fucking dude, man. You can take your Aaron Judge and your Shohei Ohtani's. Give me Schwarber, man. You got to go Schwarber. That dude might be the MVP of the league this year. We'll see what the Phillies can do behind it. Today's years old when I learned about green noise. Google it. Check it out. Today's card was inspired by green noise. Not white noise, not brown noise, green noise. We'll see if it makes a difference or not. Appreciate you guys spending the day here with me here this hour on the dot, 7 p.m. Lots of action. Player prop heavy. Let me know in the chat after the comments after the show if you guys like the player props, if you want to see more player props. If you just want me to toss a couple out there that that I kind of highlighted on the board, whatever. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Give me the plays of your day as well in the comments after the show. In show, thumbs up if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet. Now's a great time to do it. After show, comments. Trevor85, I think, says, hey, Mike, I got to say, you guys have the greatest UFC live cast. They are so entertaining. Oh, man. Trevor85. Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate that. We try to win, too. I mean, we're pretty good at that, too. But we have fun together. It's the fellas. We have a good time together. We enjoy our company. Pirates on the board. Oh, it's not Cruz. I was like, give me a Cruz missile, man. It was not. He did get his hit, though. So one of our two legs is down. O'Neal Cruz got a hit. Kyle Tucker's the other guy. He did not get a hit. So we'll see. We'll see how this game unfolds. Good luck to everybody tonight. And I'll see you guys here again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 6 p.m. It'll be Thursday. It'll be the first day of May. We're going to put a bow on this glorious month of April. I hope you guys all get big cash tonight. Shout out to Grandma Horse Racing. I don't know how I missed it, but 5 gifted sports money memberships for Grandma Horse Racing. Thank you, Grandma. Appreciate you rocking in here, coming by. Always positive. Humbling me to spend time with someone in your ilk that comes in so generous, so giving. Sports money memberships. I got my shot glass, my grandma's horse racing shot glasses. But 5 gifted sports money memberships helping us keep this community growing. And if you guys got one, think about gifting them forward. You know, we always love to support our members and help them become members. And of course, the silver and gold memberships are where those VIP plays come into play as well for your request. You guys asked for them. We want to give you more action. Thank you, Grandma Horse Racing, with the 5 gifted sport. I wanted to recognize it before we shut up shop. 5 gifted sports money memberships from Grandma Horse Racing. Shout out to Trisha M with the $4.99 donut. Blessing our action, you guys. Great comments, great feedback. Good vibes, you guys. Let's have a good night. How about that? Stay on the lookout. We will have First Strike available for you guys later tonight.